Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Laura and this is Bailey, and today I wanted to talk about 24 things that I will be buying as a minimalist in 2024. This is a slightly different video to maybe what you would expect, because a lot of the time the minimalism videos are about things that we are not buying, things that we are getting rid of, things that we do not have in our life, and I think it's actually just as important to talk about the things that we do have in our life, because minimalism is not about hating stuff or not having stuff or not needing things or using things or wanting things or whatever. Minimalists do actually care about stuff a lot. We care about stuff because we want to have stuff in our lives that we actually use, that we get benefit from, where the stuff is actually serving us, rather than having stuff that we just don't care about. Stuff that is just locked in a garage or in an attic. That is not actually really appreciating or using or truly owning your stuff, right? Minimalists, we appreciate, we actually use, we truly own things, we truly have them in our lives. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, is the stuff that I will be bringing into my life in 2024 to add value and to bring productivity and to bring enjoyment and fulfillment and all of that good stuff. So let's talk about it. Alrighty, one of the things I will be buying in 2024 is my Isano skincare and hair care. So the brand Isano is something that I came across years ago, and I started off with some of their products, and now, like I said, all of my skincare except for sunscreen and all of my hair care is Isano brand. So the premise is that it's rosehip oil based. It is mostly vegan, it has no parabens, it has no other bad stuff, and I just really enjoy using it. My skin and my hair seems to do really well with it, and I am not about to mess with that. So I'm going to carry on getting the skincare and hair care that works for me, which happens to be the brand Isano. Coffee beans. I've probably shown you guys my coffee machine like 100 times in videos now, but I have a secondhand Breville Barista Express coffee machine. These things seem to never die. We have like 6 friends with these coffee machines, either new or secondhand, and they are awesome. And it means that the only consumables for me to make coffee is coffee beans, and I love that. I feel like it is much lower waste and it's much less stress. It's a very basic machine that has never given me problems, and I actually prefer them over cafe coffees. So if I can get that at home with my coffee beans and my soy milk, I am a happy chappy. Kindle books. I don't know which Kindle books specifically, but I wanted to let you know that I do have a Kindle. I find it really convenient and really helpful for me to actually spend time reading books. I have read a lot on the train going into work because I keep it in the front of my bag, and this is kind of the medium that I prefer for getting my books. I do actually have a couple of electronic books on hold at the library that I'm trying to get a hold of, and I think I can then get those onto my Kindle, but I just really prefer this over buying physical books. I feel that I actually read my Kindle books, which is, you know, the purpose of having books. So yeah, I will continue to buy books on my Kindle as and when I decide that I want to have a new book. Subscriptions. So we have subscriptions for Netflix, Disney Plus, Neon. I use Neon for 2 shows specifically, South Park, and The Office. Can't believe I told you guys that, but there you go. We also have subscriptions for Spotify and for YouTube Plus. Now the YouTube and Spotify was not actually my choice. That is because my husband hates hearing ads, and he had already bought those a long time ago. And then whenever I played something for him and it would have ads, it would drive him crazy. So he upgraded to a family account. So we are not the kind of minimalists who are going to sit here and say we don't have a TV, we don't have streaming subscriptions, we never watch TV. Like, no, we do. We don't watch it loads, but when we want to watch it, we like just having it there ready to go. And also we share subscriptions with some people, so if we got rid of it, then we'd have some friends who would be upset with us. Red Island olive oil, the 4-litre tin. This is so specific and random, but I love good olive oil. Like, I really love good olive oil. I lived in Italy for 3 months as an au pair, And thank Jesus I was running around after 4 kids aged under 10. You heard me correct. This is also when I was like 19, right? But thank goodness, because I only put on like 4 kilos while I was there, and I was eating so much because it's so much good food. But of the things that I learned in Italy is, firstly, you must always salt your pasta water. Oh, now I've gone blank. Oh, second, you always have to season your salads. The reason why salads would suck so bad is because they're not seasoned. You need salt and pepper on your salads, people. Goodness gracious me. And the other thing is good quality olive oil. I had so much olive oil. I could drink the stuff. So now that I'm back in New Zealand, I have tried to find the most like cost effective but good quality olive oil. And what I've landed on is Red Island olive oil. I get the big 4-litre tin. So getting olive oil in tins is a really good idea because the light degrades it. So this keeps it fully in the dark, and the 4-litre on special is the most cost effective, and it's just really, really nice quality. A new dog bed for Bailey. So this little guy, he loves the donutty shaped beds. I will add picture where he can curl up like a little donut, because look, he's just a little donut. So we got him a new one about 18 months ago, and we actually got him too big of a size because him stretched out long ways versus him curled up are 2 very different sizes, and I miscalculated. So we've got this really cumbersome big bed, and it's just really annoying in such a small space. And we have actually got this now, even though we're a few days before the new year, because we went to visit a friend of ours to dog sit, and their dog, who is bigger than Bailey, loved this bed, just loved it. Like, he went and sat in his own bed like twice, and he sat in Bailey's 100 times. So we said to them, hey, do you want us to leave Bailey's bed because your dog loves it, and we were planning on getting a replacement in the next month or 2 anyway. So we've actually left that there, so we now have a replacement dog bed for Bailey. But as much as you try to like wash them and keep them clean and tidy, this bed, like, it had a hole or 2 in it. It's impossible to keep it like nice and fluffed up and not grungy, just because a dog sleeps on it for like 10 hours every day. So have to replace those every couple of years, and we will be doing that this year so that our boy is comfy and cozy and our house feels clean and fresh. Fun socks. Josh likes fun socks, and I like getting fun socks for Josh. Josh always used to have boring socks, and then once when I was on a work trip, I saw these awesome socks with dogs on them. So I got them for Josh, and he was so happy, and he loves having that. And I think that this is kind of a thing with guys, is that they have so much less expression with their clothing and with their outfits. Like, I mean, it's very like you have trousers and shorts, and you have t-shirts and polo shirts and shirts. Like, that's most of the variety that you have there, right? And so I feel like guys can't have that much fun with that. So I think that that's partly why he really, really likes the fun socks. And when he wears them to work and he can show them to people, or people will comment and say those are so fun, and he really likes that. So anyway, the fun socks aren't always the best quality. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So there'll probably be a few pairs that he wears holes in, and I have not yet learned how to darn socks. I fixed a couple of things. I fixed an armpit hole in a secondhand wool jumper that I got for him, but I've not yet upgraded my skills to darning socks. And I'm not sure that he would like it because it'll like feel different and whatever. So we'll probably buy some more pairs of fun socks as and when we see them this year, because it just brings a little sunshine into his day, and he appreciates it and I appreciate him appreciating it, and it's just this big circle of appreciation. It's a good time. Candles. Oh, I am a neutral, soft light girly, you know? I don't like the big light. I don't like the big light. I love lamp. We have lamp over here. I don't say the lamp, I say lamp, like it's a person. So lamp, freaking love lamp. And also because of that whole like natural soft lighting, I love candles. And a friend of mine, for our wedding gift, got us these little houses that you put the candles in, and then it looks like the windows are like lit up like there's someone home in these little houses because of the little candle that's in them. So they make me so happy. I also recently got a like vintage Temuka like oil melt burner that you also put a tea light in that I really love. It's so retro and cool. So I will be buying candles this year, mostly probably little tea lights to put into those guys, but maybe some bigger like slightly scented soy candles as well. I love the look of them. I like having a little bit of scent sometimes, not overly though. Op shop stuffed toys for my dog. So little Bailey here, he loves to rip up and tear the stuffing out of soft toys. However, the ones that you get from like the proper pet stores are like $25 and it's ridiculous, and I don't want to get the tough ones because he doesn't like the tough ones. He is a small soft boy, so he likes the soft toys, and he will like rip them open, pull the stuffing out and then leave it, and then I grab it and then I restuff it, and then we carry on, and it just goes like that for like a few weeks, a month or two at a time. And the thing is, I don't want to do that with a $25 toy. So what I do is I go to the op shops and I will find the toys that are really like pilled and stuff on the outside, or ones that have got stains on them, ones that I don't think that kids would actually like to get. Usually they cost $1 or $2. I think the most I've spent is like $4 on one of these. And so I will get those for Bailey because he gets a lot of enjoyment out of it. We restuff it so it just keeps going in perpetuum for weeks, sometimes months, but I feel like that's a really low cost, high enjoyment kind of thing that we can get for him. Also, he does not eat the stuffing. I know that that can be a danger for dogs who do eat it, but when we first got him these stuffed toys, we watched him very closely. He does not eat the stuffing. He literally just spits it back out again, so we are all safe on that front. This year I will be spending money on a gym membership. So I started going to the gym again a year and a bit ago, and as much as I've been in stages where I'm going 5-6 times a week, and then sometimes where I'm going 0 times a week, it is something that is good for me, that I want to be doing, that I get enjoyment from, and this is something that I want to keep endeavoring to make a part of my life. So I will continue to pay for a gym membership in 2024. Seedlings to grow food in my garden. So I really like doing a little bit of gardening. I don't have a massive garden, but I do really appreciate having it there. I find that herbs and greens are generally the best thing that I get out of the garden, but we do also do tomatoes, which is starting to come through because it is summer here, which is so nice to have. And so as the seasons change and certain plants die off, I will buy seedlings to replace those with whatever seasonal things we have available. A fun card game. Josh and I do like occasionally playing board games and card games together. We go through phases where we'll play like 3 or 4 times in a week, and then other times we don't play for a couple of months. But the 2-person games are the ones that are hard to come by, and we have some games that are really good with multiple people. Like we have the Catan board game, which is great, but we also got a Catan card game that we've only ever played 2-player. That is really, really awesome. And there's a couple of other games that we can play 2-person, but most of them don't work. And so because it's often the 2 of us, we want to be able to play more and not just get sick of the same like 2 or 3 games that we can play together. So we will be on the lookout for like a 4th 2-person game that we can add to the mix. Hopefully card game, because those are often, you know, much smaller than a full board game, but that's something that we're going to be on the lookout for this year because we enjoy having that in our lives, and for us it feels better than either watching something on TV or sitting and looking at something on our phones or whatever. Ink replacements for my fancy pen. I was given this beautiful pen by my old manager as a little leaving gift when I left, and she is so lovely. She was at my wedding. I caught up with her just before Christmas. She is great, and I love using this pen. And this is one of those sort of, you buy it once and you never want to have to use a different pen at any other time. And since it uses ink cartridges, I will be buying replacements of those so that I can keep using this super gorgeous fountain pen. work sneakers. About 6 months ago, I got rid of most of my work shoes because I just wasn't using them, and that was because I kind of switched roles, switched careers a bit, and I didn't need the kind of fancy shoes that I was used to wearing when I was a consultant. Now that I'm working in-house as a business analyst, I don't need to be quite so fancy. So I got a really cool pair of white leather sneakers, and I have worn these like 9 times out of 10 for the last about 9 months since I got them. So I am maybe starting to get just a little bit sick of these sneakers, and maybe they're starting to wear a little bit faster than I would like because they are just getting so much use. Like, they are on my feet more often than not for 10 hours a day, right? So I am looking at getting another pair, probably of white sneakers, but like a different kind of vibe to these ones, just so that I can mix them up. A heat pump for our bedroom. So in New Zealand, we don't have like AC units, we have heat pumps, which do have an AC unit in them. I will look up exactly what they're called, and I'll put that here. But basically, it does heating, it does cooling, it does dehumidifying, it does fan. It's very energy efficient. We really like it. So we have a decent sized one, like a medium-ish sized one in our living space, which is what is required for New Zealand renting laws, so that when we sell this place, someone can buy it and then basically just rent it out straight away, which is super great, right? But the airflow from here through to our bedroom is really rubbish. It's really, really bad. And as much as we can try set up fans to do things as well, it does not work. And also the windows don't open very far in all of our house. So it's just really hard to get airflow in there anyway. It's hard to keep cool in summer. It's hard to keep warm in winter. We will end up a few times this summer literally dragging our mattress from our bedroom through our tiny hallway and plonking it right here so that we can have the cooling, because it's impossible to get it cool enough in our bedroom some nights in summer. So we are thinking that if we're going to be here for another couple of years, that we would probably benefit, A, from being able to keep that room hot enough or cold enough, but B, from not using like little heaters to try heat that room, which are really energy inefficient. It will actually save us money on power by installing that there. So if we decide to do that, we're gonna do that this year. And so we are tossing up a little bit on this one as to whether we do it or not, but that one is definitely in the cards for this year, because you can have a nice, tidy, zen minimalist house, but if you're freezing your butt off in winter, or if you cannot sleep in summer because it's so freaking hot, you're just not gonna have a good time, are you? All right, another thing I'm looking at buying this year is new earrings. I have always been a stud girly, so I have always just had studs. I got my second piercings done 6 years ago. And I've had these ones here since I was like 10, but more and more I'm seeing the trend of like the like hoops, or the like snuggy hoops, and I'm really, really liking it. And I feel like with my short hair as well, having something just a little bit more here is actually gonna look like really elegant and really cool. And I always sort of have jewelry that I just wear constantly, basically. I don't really mix it up. For the day-to-day, it's basically been this vibe since I've had earrings, and I think I might change that this year. So I'm gonna look into it and kind of see what I like and all of that, but I'm thinking that that may be something that I invest in this year, because you can see my face and my ears and my earrings constantly because I have short hair. So it's something that would actually be seen, right? It's not as if I sort of have long hair and I'm like, oh, I want to change my earrings, and you're like, what earrings, Laura? So watch this space. A new Switch game. So Josh has the Nintendo Switch. I have the Nintendo Switch Lite. And I was not really into playing games as I was growing up. It was basically during lockdown when I was watching Josh play The Legend of Zelda, which, if you don't know, is just like a very kind of open worldy exploring game, and the world itself is like really, really pretty. Like, it's like a really pretty kind of cartoon world, and it's just like a lot of fun. There's beautiful lakes and mountains and rivers and really pretty characters, and it's just really, really nice. And so I started to play his game, and it was really terrible at first, but I really enjoyed it. So he got me a Nintendo Switch Lite so that I could play that game, and it was something that wasn't trying to be productive, but that I could just relax doing. You know, it wasn't scrolling social media, it wasn't trying to read a book to learn something to improve myself or my life or whatever. It was just something for enjoyment. And for those who've seen my mental health video on like not knowing what you do for fun, this was like a really healing thing for me to just have something that I do for fun that isn't trying to be productive, like gardening or cooking or baking or cleaning or organizing is. So I really enjoyed that, and I just have a few games on there. But I wanted to sort of branch out from Zelda. I do have Stardew Valley, for those who know it, and that one I like decently. But again, I wanted to branch out, so I got the new Hogwarts Legacy game, and having seen it on like on a YouTuber that I watch's channel, the PC version, it looked awesome. And then we got it on Switch, and it looks like something from 1998. The graphics are so terrible. Like the people almost look scary, you know. And I'm just not super enjoying the game, and it just feels extremely clunky. So I think I'm gonna sell that, and I'm gonna be on the lookout for something else that I can play that is more of a relaxing, fun, exploring, like long-termy kind of game in 2024. In 2024, I will be buying black spray paint. Yep, you heard that right. Alrighty, so this is why. Okay, I recently used up the last of my black spray paint, and this is something that I use to do a bit of upkeep, I'm predicting, on a couple of things in our home that I have chosen to, instead of replacing, to just spray paint black so that they look new, but I'm not wasting those items or having to buy those items for a lot of money. I can just get one can of spray paint and do that myself. So some of the handles in our kitchen, our rubbish bin, and a few other things. Oh, and this guy up here, which actually needs some touch-ups as well. So there you go. Thank you for reminding me. They have been spray painted with matte black. So I will almost certainly be buying another can of that this year to do touch-ups on those items, especially if we want to sell the house in a year or two. I need to make sure that they are looking awesome for the next owners. A Canva subscription. I freaking love Canva. Canva is so amazing for making things digitally. I did our wedding programs for the ceremony on Canva. I do all of my thumbnails and all of that on Canva as well. I've done things for work, like posters for things on Canva. I have started doing some branding stuff for a few other little side things on Canva. It is just such an awesome tool. I've done my CV on Canva. Like, it's great. And I have Canva Premium because then it allows me to do this really seamlessly. I actually have a friend who works for Canva, and yeah, it's just such an awesome product. So the free version is still really great for all those kind of designy needs. If you've never heard of Canva, go find it. But I do get the paid version, and that just, I feel, adds so much value to my life and to the work that I try and do. It's great. Gumboots. It's such a Kiwi thing to say. I will be getting new gumboots in 2024. So these are also called like rain boots or Wellington boots or wellies, but anyway, they are waterproof boots. Here in Auckland, it rains a lot in winter, and I still need to walk this guy like every day, and my gumboots get so much use. So I've had the current ones I've got for like 2 years, and they cost like $12 when I got them. So I'm predicting that they're going to have run their course come this year. So at some point in winter, when they are available again in stores, I will be getting myself some new gumboots, because these are a practical item that I definitely need in my day-to-day life. Zero alcohol beers. Josh and I have drastically reduced our drinking in the last wee while, and one thing that we've been really enjoying is all of the zero alc or like less than 0.5% alcohol beers. don't know if YouTube's gonna get mad at me for mentioning alcohol on here, but I'm talking about like 0. So I don't know, but I just wanted to let you guys know that that's something that we're going to continue buying, because we like to be able to, you know, hang out with friends and be social, or like on a Friday or Saturday night have a beer, but they've got almost no alcohol in them. And so we really enjoy that and think that that is a great way to still have something that we think is tasty and enjoyable, and it's like a cold drink, particularly in summer, but it is not bad for us in the same way that an alcoholic beverage would be bad for us. And it's also just really convenient being able to go to someone's house, have a beer or two at a party, and then drive straight back home, because you've had, and I worked this out, the equivalent of, if you have one beer, that's like 2 tablespoons of a regular beer. There you go. Some of the brands that we love for this, and please feel free to sponsor me guys if you're watching this, the Good George Virtual Reality Hazy XPA, I think it's called. That one's great. Also the Garage Project Tiny beers. There's 2 different ones. One's orange, one's like this color. It actually matches perfectly. Those ones are really, really awesome. But here in New Zealand, at least, I'm not sure if that's the same in the rest of the world, there are so many awesome zeros or less than 0.5%, so very close to 0, beers on the market, and I just think it's an awesome development. I think it's a really, really cool thing. So if that's something that you're looking at doing, check wherever it is you are living and see if there's any like more options available than there probably were a few years ago, because some of them are really, really great, and it's an awesome switch to make. This year I'm also planning on buying a few high quality pillow cases. I have realized that as someone who tends to have more oily type skin, that the oil on my face and on my hair tends to build up semi quickly, and it means that when it comes to our bedding and our sheets, when we are washing our sheets every like 2 to 3 weeks, by the time we get to the 3-week mark sometimes, my pillowcase looks horrendous. And it's just like, it's gross and embarrassing, right? I don't like talking about this, but what I'm thinking is that I'm going to get a few more pillowcases so that I can more easily just swap out my pillowcase every week, and do that rather than feeling like I need to wash all of the sheets more frequently than every 2 or 3 weeks just because of the pillowcase. So that is something that I'm looking at doing this year, just so that I feel more clean and more comfortable, and it may reduce the small number of like pimples that I do get. Alright, I think that this is the second to last. This year we will be buying flights to Melbourne. So my husband's family are in Melbourne, and we have a big family event coming up in the first half of 2024. So we will be buying flights over to Melbourne to go over and see family for that. Lucky last, this year I will be buying a bridesmaid's dress, because my sister is getting married. So I will be getting a dress in the next few months, because it's coming up quite soon. Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out as I'm recording this. I will be buying a bridesmaid's dress this year, so this is not something that I feel my sister would be okay with me reusing a dress for, and fair enough, to be honest. And I think the colours that she's interested in are colours that I do not currently own, so I will be, with her blessing as to what I get, buying a bridesmaid's dress this year for 2024, and I'm hoping that it is something that I can reuse at a later date, but it will specifically be for her wedding first and foremost. Alrighty, so that is my list of 24 things that I will be buying as a minimalist in 2024. Obviously this is not an extensive list, and I tried to keep a lot more of the like consumable items out of it. I don't want to tell you I'm going to be spending money on my warrant of fitness for my car, or on petrol for my car, or on or on like, I don't know, food generally. I think a lot of our expenses are food, to be honest, but anyway, besides that, those are the more tangible items that I think that we will be buying this year, either things that are just replacing things that we use constantly, or new things that we're going to be bringing into our life to improve our day-to-day living. And that's the thing, is that none of these are crazy big one-off items. They are things that are either just part of how we want to be living our life generally, or are things that we are going to use in our day-to-day life. So if you like my minimalism content, and maybe if you want to see some of my mental health content and just general lifestyle stuff, please hit that subscribe button. I look forward to seeing you again. Let me know your thoughts down below on if you are interested in any of these things, if any of them maybe surprised you or any of that. And I will see you next time. Bye.